Have you ever sat by your kitchen window, a steaming cup of herbal tea in your hands, and wondered how something so small, just one misstep, could shift everything? For countless older adults across the United States, from Mr. Howard in Portland to Louisa in Tampa, a simple slip in the hallway or a stumble while reaching for the garden hose has changed daily life. It's led to hospital visits, long recoveries, or a slow goodbye to independence. The truth is, falls rarely make noise before they happen. They come softly, without warning, often when we're least expecting it. Just stepping out of bed, bending for a dropped sock, or turning to answer the door can be enough. And yet, what if you could stay ahead of that? What if, with a few gentle changes, and no special tools, you could make every step feel more secure, every movement a little more certain? That's exactly what I hope to offer you today. In this video, I'll walk you through 6 simple but powerful walking techniques. These aren't high-intensity exercises or expensive therapies. They're small actions recommended by physical therapists and already making a difference for older adults across places like Wisconsin, New Mexico, and Georgia. Whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, or caring for a beloved parent or spouse, this message is for you. Just give me a few minutes of your attention. What you'll gain isn't just advice. It might be the first step to walking with confidence again, to reclaiming the freedom to move without fear, and to discovering more peace in your everyday routines. If this message speaks to you, please take a moment to hit the like button, share it with someone in your age group, and subscribe so we can continue walking together through future videos. And if you're willing, leave a comment below. Let me know where you're watching from and what walking looks like in your daily life. I'd be honored to hear your story. Step 1. Let your gaze lead the way. When you step outside in the morning or take a lap through your home, where do your eyes naturally go? For many, the instinct is to look down, to watch their feet double-check the floor. It feels protective, doesn't it? But in reality, always looking down while walking can throw off your natural posture and balance. Think of your head as a guidepost where it points, the rest of the body follows. If your head tilts downward for too long, the shoulders slouch, the spine bends, and your center of gravity shifts forward, making each step less stable. Let me tell you about Mr. Carl, a 76-year-old retired high school principal from Albany, New York. Every morning, Carl walks a few quiet laps around the pond in his local park. Recently, he began noticing he felt off balance, particularly when heading down a slope. After meeting with a community therapist, he discovered something subtle but important. Years of watching his feet had slowly caused his posture to tip forward. His back curved, his muscles tensed, and his confidence dipped. That changed when he learned a simple adjustment. Keep your gaze about 10 to 12 feet ahead while walking. Not straight up, not at the sky, but gently forward. Lift your chin just slightly and allow your shoulders to fall naturally back into place. Within a week, Carl reported his walks felt smoother. He wasn't walking faster, but he was walking better. His back relaxed, his steps grew more even. And as he put it, I finally stopped bracing for a fall. The truth is, you only need to glance at the ground occasionally. Let your eyes survey the path ahead, but let your body trust your feet to follow. This shift doesn't just improve posture, it trains your muscles and nervous system to respond in real time. Looking up builds trust between your body and your environment again. So the next time you go for a walk, try this. Straighten your neck gently, look toward a tree or lamp post ahead, and let your steps follow your eyes. It's a quiet but powerful change that can reset your sense of balance without any effort at all. Step 2. Your arms are quiet anchors. When most people think of walking, they picture their legs moving. But what if I told you your arms play just as important a role in keeping you stable? That natural swing we used to have, right leg, left arm, left leg, right arm, helps maintain balance without us even thinking about it. But as we age, we often stop using our arms when we walk. Sometimes it's due to stiffness or injury. Sometimes we're holding a bag, cane, or purse. But more often it's fear that movement will throw us off or make us less safe. I remember Ms. Ellen, a 79-year-old retired nurse from Cincinnati. After slipping on her porch one autumn morning, she started using a cane. But strangely, she began to feel more off balance the more she leaned on it. A physical therapist noticed that her free arm had stopped swinging entirely. It was rigid, locked close to her body. Without realizing it, Ellen had cut off half of her body's natural balancing system. With a bit of practice, Ellen was encouraged to allow her other arm to move freely again. Not wildly, not like a power walker, but gently and naturally. Within weeks, she was steadier on her feet. She even shared that her walks to the mailbox started to feel like little victories instead of chores. Even if one arm is weaker or you're holding something in one hand, let the other arm swing as best it can. Keep your elbows soft, your fingers relaxed, and your shoulders loose. That movement helps stabilize your upper body and keeps your posture aligned. Don't underestimate the power of gentle motion. It may be one of your best tools for regaining balance. If you're still reading, you're someone who takes your health seriously, and I admire that deeply. Please leave a comment with the number 2 if this step speaks to you. It lets me know we're walking together in this journey and encourages others to take their first step too. Step 3. Rolling through your steps, heel to toe. Walking is something we all take for granted until it starts feeling different. Maybe your steps don't feel quite as steady. Maybe your foot catches the edge of a rug or seems to drag a little when you're tired. You're not alone. Many older adults experience a quiet shift in how their feet move, and much of it comes down to a forgotten rhythm, the natural heel-to-toe roll that once guided every step. I met Mr. Allen, a 74-year-old retired landscaper from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Every morning he waters the rows of vegetables in his backyard. But lately, he'd begun stumbling while walking across the stone path behind his home. His daughter noticed he was shuffling more, barely lifting his feet. After a visit to a local clinic, a physical therapist explained that Allen had slowly lost the habit of landing on his heel first, a key element of safe, natural walking. The proper step starts with your heel making contact with the ground. From there, the weight shifts forward through your midfoot, and finally your toes push off for the next step. This rolling movement helps your joints absorb shock and keeps your balance steady. It also trains your muscles to engage in the right sequence. Many older adults unconsciously start avoiding their heels, especially after joint pain, foot issues, or a past fall. Some begin walking flat-footed or on the balls of their feet without noticing. While it might feel like a way to avoid pain, it often increases the risk of losing your balance over time. Allen took the advice to heart. He began practicing the heel-to-toe roll indoors on a cushioned runner rug, holding onto his kitchen counter for support. At first it felt awkward, but within a couple of weeks, he noticed a difference. His knees felt stronger, his hips didn't ache as much, and most importantly, his steps felt grounded again. Not rushed, not stiff, but smooth and sure. If you want to practice at home, try walking barefoot across a soft towel on the floor. Let your heel touch first. Then slowly allow your weight to shift through the rest of your foot until your toes push off. Do this slowly, intentionally. You're not just walking, you're retraining your body's most basic rhythm. What surprised Allen most wasn't how quickly he improved. It was how calm he began to feel while walking. I stopped worrying about every crack in the sidewalk, he told me. I started trusting my steps again. That kind of peace isn't something you buy, it's something you earn, one mindful step at a time. Step 4. Short steps, stronger balance. When we were younger, we walked with purpose, long strides, brisk pace, shoulders back. It made us feel strong. But now, those same long steps that once made us feel powerful can actually make us more vulnerable. Long strides shift your body weight forward unnaturally, pulling your balance off-center and making recovery harder if something goes wrong. That's what happened to Mr. Dwayne, an 81-year-old former postal worker from Sacramento. For decades, he prided himself on his fast pace. He joked that no one could keep up with him. But as time passed, he started having minor slips, even in familiar spaces like his hallway or driveway. He couldn't understand it, he felt alert, and he wasn't in pain. Still, the slips kept coming. After meeting with a balance specialist at a senior wellness center, Dwayne learned that his stride length was the issue. His steps were still long, but his body no longer had the same core support or reaction speed it once did. The solution: shorten the stride slightly and walk with a smoother rhythm. Dwayne practiced this during his daily errands. He counted his steps over a short distance, then did the same distance with smaller, more consistent steps. Not only did he feel steadier, but he also noticed he wasn't as tired afterward. "I walk slower," he told me, "but I arrive feeling stronger." You don't need to walk like a child learning for the first time, but observing how toddlers move gives us a clue. Their steps are short, careful, and deliberate. They lean into their balance, not away from it. That kind of body wisdom is worth remembering. Whether you're walking in your living room or down the driveway, shortening your stride slightly can change how secure you feel. Especially if you use a cane or walker, it's essential to keep it close. Don't stretch it far ahead of you. Let your feet lead in small, controlled steps. This isn't about walking slow just for the sake of it. It's about finding a rhythm that fits your body now, not how it moved 30 years ago. And if you've read this far, I hope you'll leave a 4 in the comments to let me know you're walking this path with care and courage. Step 5. Build your core. Strengthen your steps. When we think about balance, we often focus on the legs. That makes sense. After all, they carry us from place to place. But in truth, real stability starts at the center of your body. Your core is more than just your stomach. It includes the muscles around your abdomen, lower back, and hips. These muscles act like an internal brace, keeping your spine upright and your body aligned every time you move. When the core becomes weak, other areas step in to help. You may start to notice your shoulders pulling forward, your upper back working harder, or your legs tiring too quickly. You might feel like your body leans forward without you meaning to, or that you're swaying a bit more with every step. These aren't just signs of age. They're signals from your body asking for support where it's needed most. Fortunately, strengthening your core doesn't require any gym machines or formal routines. You can begin right in your home, using nothing more than a few minutes and your own focus. One of my favorite stories is from Mrs. Lorraine, an 80-year-old former baker from Birmingham, Alabama. Every morning, while her kettle heats up, she stands by the counter and lifts one foot slightly off the ground, holds it for a few seconds, then switches. No rush, no strain, just quiet practice. After a few weeks, Lorraine noticed something beautiful. She could stand longer while cooking, didn't feel as wobbly getting dressed, and walked with her head held a little higher. She said, "It feels like my spine remembers how to carry me again." That's the power of reconnecting to your core. It's not just physical, it's emotional. It brings back your sense of control. Another simple tip you can try during daily walks. Gently pull your belly inward, as if you're bracing against a light breeze. Hold it for a few seconds, then release. This small movement activates deep muscles without anyone around you noticing. It's invisible on the outside but meaningful on the inside. Over time, you may find that your posture improves without trying. You might begin to step more confidently, not because your legs are stronger, but because your body is more coordinated. That's the hidden beauty of core work. It influences everything from how you stand, to how you move, and even how you breathe. And let's be clear, core strength isn't reserved for athletes. It's for anyone who wants to age with intention. For people like you, who want to maintain independence, stay upright and enjoy life without feeling fragile. It's never too late to reconnect with this inner power. When your center is strong, you don't have to rely on brute force to stay upright. You move with less effort and more grace. You reduce strain on your knees and hips, and you feel more together, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. You deserve to feel steady. You deserve to feel safe in your body. And with just a few minutes of daily attention to your core, you'll begin to notice changes, not all at once, but slowly and deeply, like the tide coming in. Step 6. Read the floor before you walk. We often think of trip hazards as things we can see. A cord, a shoe, a slick tile. But some of the most dangerous falls happen not because of what's on the ground, but because the floor itself changes, and we don't notice in time. As we age, our eyes adapt more slowly to lighting, and the nerves in our feet take longer to react to textures and surfaces. That delay can turn an ordinary step into a misstep. Let me introduce you to Mr. Clarence, a 78-year-old retired school bus driver from St. Paul. One afternoon, He nearly fell while walking from the hardwood hallway into his carpeted den. There were no obstacles in the way, just the change in surface. The carpet felt thicker, the lighting was dimmer, his body wasn't prepared for the sudden difference. At his next checkup, his doctor shared a small but effective strategy: name the surface before stepping. In your mind or even quietly out loud, say carpet, tiles, step down. The moment you say it, your brain wakes up. The connection between thought and movement becomes faster. It sounds simple, but this technique is now used in fall prevention programs nationwide. Clarence started doing it every time he walked through his home. Kitchen tile, rug, step up, he'd say softly. He noticed an immediate difference, not just in his steps, but in his confidence. His body was responding faster, not because he moved faster, but because his awareness got sharper. He felt more in tune with his surroundings. This technique is especially useful for people who wear bifocals or progressive lenses, as these glasses can distort depth perception when looking down. Stairs, curbs, and thresholds can appear farther or closer than they really are, and that can lead to unexpected stumbles, unless your brain is already prepared. Also, watch out for glossy or highly polished floors. Reflections from overhead lighting can play tricks on your eyes. If you've ever thought, "I feel off, but I don't know why," the answer might be right under your feet. Let your steps be guided not just by your legs, but by your mind. Slow down at transitions. Pause when entering a new room. Say the word, feel the floor, and move with purpose. These are small acts of safety, but they build a much larger sense of calm. If this part resonated with you, please leave a comment with the number 6. It tells me and others in this community that you're walking this journey with attention, wisdom, and heart. Every step holds more than movement. It holds memory, courage, and change. In every home across this country, there are quiet signs of aging that appear long before anyone speaks of them. A worn-down welcome mat that doesn't get stepped on as often. A favorite armchair pulled closer to the hallway for easier access. A cane resting against a kitchen table, waiting. These signs aren't signs of defeat. They're signals of adaptation, of strength. And yet beneath them there can also be an unspoken fear, the fear of falling, the fear of not being able to get up without help, the fear that one wrong step might be the beginning of having to give up things we love. You might recognize that fear yourself. Maybe it shows up when you bend over to tie your shoes and feel unsteady, or when the doorbell rings and you hesitate before walking across the tiled floor. These moments don't make you weak. They make you human. And more than that, they remind us how deeply we value our freedom, our independence, our ability to move through life on our own terms. But here's the good news. Even if aging brings changes to your body, it also brings new wisdom. You now know your limits better. You understand your rhythms more clearly. And that awareness is your greatest tool. With just a few conscious steps each day, steps like the 6 we've walked through together, you begin to reclaim what may have quietly felt lost. I've spoken to dozens of older adults who believed they were too far gone to change. But after practicing small, steady movements, they began to see shifts, not only in their walking, but in their outlook. The tension in their shoulders eased. Their confidence grew. They no longer walked with a sense of dread, but with a calm kind of readiness. Each footstep wasn't just about getting somewhere. It became a statement: I'm still here. I'm still in charge of how I move. Take Ms. Roberta from Charleston, South Carolina. At 84, she told me something that stayed with me. When I started walking with awareness, I stopped feeling invisible. It was like my body started listening to me again. That's what these changes can do. They don't just help you stay safe, they help you feel present in your body once more. This journey is not about avoiding age, it's about walking through it with grace. It's about moving with dignity, with self-respect, and with the quiet assurance that even small changes can bring powerful results. You don't need perfection. You don't need to be fast. You simply need to be intentional, one step at a time. So now I ask you gently, which of the 6 habits we've shared feels most important to you today? Is it keeping your eyes lifted as you move, letting your arms swing again, relearning the feel of your foot touching down from heel to toe? Maybe it's something as quiet as naming the floor beneath you to sharpen your focus. Whatever it is, let that be your first change. Not next week, not next month. The very next time you rise to your feet. Even one adjustment, done regularly, can rebuild the foundation under you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And if you're wondering whether all this effort really makes a difference, I want to remind you, every single movement counts. Every thoughtful step is a declaration that your health, your safety, and your peace matter. You're not just moving your body, you're rebuilding trust with it. That's a profound thing. This process takes time, yes, but it doesn't require huge sacrifices or difficult routines. You don't have to sign up for a class. You don't have to master anything overnight. All you need is the willingness to keep showing up for yourself in small ways. And for those of you who are caregivers, sons, daughters, spouses, friends, this is for you too. Share this message. Help guide your loved one through these steps. Even walking together slowly down the hallway, practicing posture and stride, can become a shared ritual of healing and connection. We are all aging together. No one walks this path alone. The more we talk about these quiet fears, the more power we take away from them. And the more we support one another, the more strength we'll all find in our steps. If any part of today's message touched your heart, I invite you to leave a few words in the comments. Maybe just share one change you'll try tomorrow, or one tip that resonated most. Your story could be the spark that helps someone else begin. Aging isn't just about adding years. It's about learning to move through time with deeper awareness. It's about noticing things we once overlooked. The sound our steps make on the hardwood floor. The way sunlight stretches across the porch at 10 a.m. The soft shift in weight from foot to foot when we stand in line at the grocery store. These are not just background details. They are messages from our bodies whispering, "Stay with me, I'm still capable." Every step you take today is part of a long story. That story includes your strength, your fears, your resilience, and your ability to change. It includes the aches and the victories, the close calls and the comebacks. You've made it this far not by luck, but by adapting again and again with grace. The 6 techniques we explored together are not about perfection. They're not about youth or speed. They're about walking smarter, moving safer, and reclaiming peace in your own body. Looking ahead instead of down, letting your arms find their rhythm, trusting the roll of heel to toe, shortening your stride for stability, building your strength from the inside out. And yes, even naming the ground beneath your feet as a way to stay alert and grounded. These habits are small, but they are powerful. They help us honor the bodies we live in even as they change. They help us slow down, not in defeat, but in intention. And over time, those intentions shape a stronger, more confident way of living. You are not fragile. You are wise. And wisdom is the kind of strength that deepens with each passing year. So if you've felt discouraged, if you've wondered whether your best days of movement are behind you, I want you to know something. Your best moments of awareness, of connection to your body, may still lie ahead. Mr. John from Oregon started practicing these techniques last winter. He'd been afraid to leave his house after a fall the year before. But after weeks of practicing posture and mindful walking inside his hallway, he ventured out to the end of the driveway again. "I didn't walk far," he said, "but I walked with confidence, and I hadn't felt that in a long time." That's what this is about. Not distance, but dignity. And Miss Tina from Florida? She told me that what changed her wasn't just the walking, it was the mindset. She said, "I stopped rushing. I started paying attention. And now I feel like I'm working with my body, not against it." These are not rare stories. They are simply the quiet victories of people who chose to try again, with patience, with purpose. Now I'd like to ask you something. Out of all the steps we explored today, which one will you try first? Which one felt like it was speaking just to you? It might seem small to answer in a comment, but you never know who might read your words and feel less alone. And if this video offered even one helpful insight, Please click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone close to you. Whether it's a friend, a neighbor, or a loved one, this information could be a lifeline to someone trying to move through life with a little more balance and a little less fear. This is not the end of the road, it's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where each footstep isn't just movement, it's intention. A chapter where safety becomes second nature. A chapter where you continue living with independence, joy, and presence. Thank you for taking the time to walk through this with me. I know your time is precious, and I believe wholeheartedly that your steps are too. May they always lead you to peace, strength, and stability. I look forward to seeing you again soon, right here where we continue growing stronger together, one thoughtful step at a time.